Hello, I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Caroline, and we're interior designers. More and more people are asking us about what we do and how we do it.
Which brings us to our new design adventure, the Design Duet. Join us as we discuss the ins and outs and the ups and downs of interior design.
Morning, Chrissy.
Morning, Caroline.
How are you?
Great, thanks. You?
Good, very well. Nice and cold.
On a very cold Melbourne winter's morning.
Sure is. Well, let's get stuck into this one. Today we're going to do our podcast on a kitchen renovation.
Exciting.
It's very exciting. We have decided to do this because we had so much feedback on our bathroom reno, and we can't begin to tell you how much positive feedback we received from that bathroom makeover podcast. Our listeners just couldn't tell us enough of what they gained from it.
Definitely. Our listeners shared that they gained valuable knowledge and guidance on renovating a bathroom on a small budget on that episode. So based on that feedback, we decided to move on to a budget-friendly kitchen renovation. Let's get started, Caroline.
All righty. So the brief. We have met our clients. They're a family in suburbia with a middle-of-the-range budget of a $60,000 to $70,000, which includes everything. In our consultation with our clients, we establish what their needs and their wants and the overall look and design and style that they require.
They have opted for a sleek contemporary design that is both stylish and highly functional for their busy lifestyles. The kitchen that they currently have is 25 years old and it isn't working for them. Appliances and the look are all out of date and there isn't enough storage for this family.
And storage is key, as we know.
Sure is.
So we have said in maintaining what we have in the floor plan, that's going to be an important element.
Yep.
So to enhance the functionality of the actual kitchen. And in this reno, we will not be moving any walls or any floors.
That'll keep the cost down, Kaz.
I agree.
So we're maintaining the current floor plan, but we're going to update all the elements to enhance functionality.
Exactly. So we'll move into the general costs and the breakdown of this scope of work.
Well, the scope of work is everything.
It is. So these prices can vary depending on the size and the complexity of the layout, finishes, type of materials that we're going to use. For example, if we were to use solid wood cabinetry versus MDF board, or even granite versus a laminate finish.
It's going to be big jumps in prices. So we've got to be all over that.
Got to be all over it. So finishes and materials are great, very, very greatly in price. So we've got to make sure that we get, 2 to 3 quotes on everything that we do.
Definitely.
Because we know that this can make a difference to the overall cost.
Definitely. Asbestos and lead paint can also vary pricing. Geographical location can vary the price, Kaz. Let's say your home boasts an ocean view. It's worth investing in a high-end kitchen because, let's face it, ocean views are very desirable and you will recoup your investment when you sell it. So if you were living, on a cliff top, you'd invest in your kitchen.
Absolutely.
I mean, you should invest in it anyway, but maybe you don't need to go that extra $40,000.
Yeah. Well, as they say, a bathroom and kitchen always sells a home, doesn't it?
That's right. So you've got to factor all of these things into your scope of work and your budget.
So for this particular job, we did try and get 2 quotes on everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was 3 quotes, but in general, 2 quotes can be enough.
Yes.
As long as you're comparing apples with apples.
Yes.
And that's certainly very important in our job to make sure that we know, for example, the laminate ranges.
That's right.
They vary so much. So we've got to make sure that we are comparing apples with apples, and the quotation will reflect that as well.
So for this job, we obtained 2 quotes for the demo and the removal. The general hourly rate for our contractor that we have agreed upon is $80 an hour, and we estimate that there will be 20 hours of time required for the demo, and that came in at $1,600.
And also the disposal costs of things. So we've got to rent a skip, so that's $500. We've got also a lot of hazardous items, so I've got to look at that For example, the kitchen gas top, that's, $250 on top of that as well.
Yeah, yeah. First things first, the scope of work needs to coincide with the budget. There are a few factors that will affect the cost of the scope of work based on the location, accessibility, quality of materials and the expertise of the professionals involved. So, Caroline, the scope of work includes the demolition of the existing kitchen. This includes the removal of appliances, bench tops, cabinet fittings, such as plumbing and electrical, the disposal of all of it.
And then the trades required, skilled trades for disconnecting of power, gas and water. We also need people to come in and do the permits, skips, cleanups, and we also need someone for a tip run.
Yes, never forget the tip run.
Correct.
Another major cost would be the working drawings of the new kitchen design,
including the floor plan and elevations. We always encourage our clients to get working drawings done.
Yes.
And, of course, it's so much easier if we have them for the builder. They also require these, just so that
dimensions and
heights, widths,
and,
depths.
All of that. And also the client can visualise what it's going to look like too, which makes it easier.
Very helpful, isn't it? And also having, PDFs of exactly what's been bought for that particular job, whether it's a sink or a fridge or an oven, cooktop, whatever.
With all the specs.
With all its specs included in it. So it just makes that so much easier for everybody to understand and be on the same page.
Yes, and just for placement of everything. So placement of hardwired appliances, plumbing plans, locations of sinks, dishwashers, heating, air conditioning, cabinetry details, Kaz, the skirting boards, the kickers.
Yep.
Is there a cornice or not? So lots of detail in the drawings, info on the materials, the finishes, the hardware, the joinery.
And this also, in these drawings, it gives you that, a 3D look at the floor plan.
Yes.
And gives you all your elevations and dimensions, as we talked about. And you need to know what all your materials and your finishes are and what the specs are for everything in the kitchen. The materials and the finishes of all your splashbacks.
Yes.
You need to know your bench tops and other finishes, for example, your splashback, if it's going to be tiles, if it's going to be glass, or if it's going to be a stone of some sort.
Yeah.
Your handles.
Yeah, well, they can add up.
Absolutely.
Can't they?
Handles or your hardware.
Yes.
Some people opt to have no handles and some people opt to have handles because that's what they really enjoy and it finishes off a kitchen also sometimes.
Yeah, it's a personal preference.
Definitely.
But we have to think about this in our budget.
Without a doubt.
In our scope of work. Let's discuss the finishes, Caroline. The colours in this kitchen are white and oak laminates with a V-groove opening on drawers and doors to push-pull. So there are no handles required in this actual design, and that'll give us an upscale appearance and hopefully at a low cost.
Yes.
We're selecting durable finishes on the bench tops and splashbacks, which can withstand heavy use and frequent cleaning because this is a family and they're going to be in there a lot.
And in relation to storage, Chrissy, we will use smart storage solutions by incorporating really deep pull-out drawers to view what is at the back of the actual drawer.
Wish I could have that in my kitchen.
Oh, really? Nuisance, isn't it? Yes. So to maximise the storage space and keep items easily accessible, and all drawers will have a soft closing. I think that the majority of drawers come with soft closing.
I think that's standard now.
It seems to be pretty standard.
Yeah. So you just give it a little push and it just automatically goes in and sits flush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't slam.
Yes.
Doesn't slam.
No slamming.
Like it did when we were growing up. And we've also incorporated accessible design. So storage is easy to reach, things at the back, things at the front, and things that are high and things for all ages and abilities as well.
Yeah, we've really got to think about those things these days.
Sure.
Want that kitchen to be there for a long time also. So
the
next family can perhaps use it.
Yeah, come in and enjoy it. We've also thought about things like corner cupboards. Often they are pantries, or it could be a corner cupboard that ends up being pots and pans. So we've thought about putting Lazy Susans in those. And these days, things like Lazy Susans are so easy to buy. Places like Kmart.
Oh, I know. For $3.
Yeah, and they're fantastic.
Fabulous. We've created shelving in the pantry to have a kettle and a toaster. So we need to make sure we've got power in the pantry, by the way.
Sure do.
So put that on my little scope of work right now.
Well done.
The kitchen will have a multi-purpose island bench with built-in storage and seating. It'll also mean it's a workspace. It's a place to serve food, to work at, dine at, and it will be finished in a non-silica Caesar stone. So let's just talk about silica for a minute. We all know about it. We're selecting this new non-silica design due to new regulations that have banned engineered stone containing silica. It's been in the news and it's just come into effect, I think, now.
Yes, it has.
End of June. So non-silica stones produce less harmful dust when cut, reducing respiratory issues for workers, and therefore they're also better for the environment. So the new non-silica engineered stones, not only do they have aesthetic appeal, they are still versatile and can be used in a variety of applications, Kazza, like countertops and wall cladding. They're very durable still and still great for cleaning, easy to maintain.
Fantastic. Very good, Chrissy. So let's discuss now the new appliances. We're designing the kitchen to have a really practical workflow using the classic triangle rule, sink, oven, fridge, to minimise the movement and maximise the workflow in the kitchen.
Can we just talk about that? So it's literally like a triangle shape.
Yes.
And the 3 appliances are at each point.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right. So it's easy to manoeuvre yourself from the sink to the fridge to the oven.
Yes.
And so in general, we say it is the 3 triangle rule, and we do try and stick to it. We probably do, but, kitchens are growing. Some people like to have, 2 spaces for their kitchens and a butler's pantry even.
2 ovens, 2 fridges.
Exactly right.
2 dishwashers.
Exactly right.
Maybe there's 2 triangles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, of course we are able to adapt and, look at people's different wants and needs, but we do often find ourselves coming back to this classic triangle.
In this kitchen budget renovation, there is only going to be 1 triangle.
Exactly. So we plan to integrate the appliances for the seamless, streamlined look, and we've also selected a freestanding oven with an induction cooktop and an integrated French door fridge. That means the doors are centre opening.
Lovely.
And which I just think looks so, it's practical and it's easy and looks very smart. An integrated dishwasher, and we've also concealed the range hood.
So integrated means your cabinetry goes over the top of the appliance, so it looks like a cupboard front.
Exactly.
And that gives it the seamless look.
That's right.
Very nice.
And we've also selected an undermounted stainless steel double sink with gunmetal finishes to the tap mixer.
Lovely. So we're selecting all these things, but we haven't actually cost everything yet. So this is us during the design process and getting our scope of work together and getting all the materials together to present to the client.
Exactly.
So again, we've also selected lighting. We're going to use a decorative pendant light. We're also going to have recessed LED ceiling lights for task lighting, which you very much need in a kitchen.
Sure.
Power. We're going to have power on the side of the bench top, which is very handy indeed, especially with a blender, as well as having power on the splashback and in the pantry. Don't forget the kettle and toaster. You can never have too many power points, really, can you?
You can't.
But we don't want them to look ugly at the same time.
No, that's right. So then we come down to cost now, Chrissy. So we're going to look at the costs of everything that we've just talked about. So demolition would be a big part of it.
Yes.
So that's come out at 2,500. The custom cabinetry made from laminate, which includes the cabinet boxes, the drawers, the doors, hardware and the installation.
This is the big
Dun, dun, dun.
ticket item. Yeah.
$33,000.
Ooh, okay.
So I think people underestimate how much cabinetry costs.
Well, there's a lot of work involved.
I agree with you. It's time, isn't it? It's time, it's people on the tools, and it's often not a one-man job.
No, that's right. Well, one man comes out to do the drawings and the quoting and so on, and he goes back to his warehouse and there's 10 guys working on that job, making
yeah, that's right.
the cabinetry. We've also got the Caesar stone, which is a mid-level price range stone. Sustainability Vivid White is the actual finish, and that came in at $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the appliances, the sink and the tap. That came in at $8,255. That's for the French door fridge, $2,099. The oven, $2,969. The range hood, $494. The dishwasher, $799. The double sink, $1,249. The kitchen mixer, $645. Now, that all seems very expensive, Caroline.
Yes.
But that's actually, again, sort of entry level, really.
Yeah, it really is.
So it just all adds up.
It all adds
is what
up.
I'm saying.
So with those appliances, and ovens and range hood, etc., we certainly did look at entry level, and we didn't look for any of these mod cons that come with it.
No.
And if it did include a mod con, it was really a bonus.
Yes, that's right. I agree. The lighting came in at $1,500. That's for the pendant.
Yes.
And I think we only needed maybe, 4 downlights. So
yeah, that's right.
That's pretty good. We've got a bullnose edge on the bench top, which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
The splashback came in at $1,000. Paint and finishing touches, $1,000. Design and planning fee layout, design and project management came in at $3,000. The drawings came in at $4,500. Installation and labour, $10,000. Builders fees, of course, there's going to be builders fees. You can never think that you can slouch on that. And the contractor fee, that came in at $10,000 also.
Well, there you go.
So, boom, boom, boom. So let's remember our budget was $60,000 to $70,000.
Yes.
It came in at $73,000, $755.
There you go. So we're pretty on the money, but we have a budget that we're going to work with, Chrissy. So let's talk about how we're going to work backwards. So what we would generally do with this is we would show the client, and if there was something they felt that they possibly didn't love or weren't in love with and had to have, we would say, well, let's go back and work on that and let's try and find
reduce the cost elsewhere.
Yeah, and find that space to get something a little bit less expensive.
I mean, your dream is for them to say, it's okay, I've got some extra money.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's move forward. But
yeah, but we've got to keep it real, and we're working with the budget. So working backwards from there, let's think about how we would actually cost and reduce a few costs. For example, we are going to switch out all the oak that we had specified in the kitchen for the laminates. We've taken them away, and instead of doing the oak finish, which is often a little bit more expensive, we have decided just to do all the fronts of the cabinetry flat, and we're going to do them all in white, not use any oak at all.
So it's a white laminate.
It is white laminate finish. And by doing this, we've saved ourselves $5,000 already.
And we're not also saving that money doesn't mean that it's a lesser product.
Exactly.
It's just the process of how these finishes are made. Some it's a longer process.
Or it might be the width and the length.
That's it. So
of the actual product that you purchase.
The laminate is still a fabulous product. It's durable.
Yeah.
It's scratch resistant. It's still a good product.
Exactly. And also going through this process, we certainly do say to the client, we're would you like to start? What would be your dream?
Yes.
And what is your wish list?
Yes.
So from that's where we've tried to work with what their wish list is. But something's got to give, and we feel that can be something that could give.
Well, we've saved $5,000.
Exactly. And another good one that we sometimes do is look at the lighting.
Yes.
And lighting, we've found that you can often find that on, Marketplace and find it in, places, secondhand places.
Yep.
Or you could even go to a showroom that you go to quite often and say, hey, you've got anything out the back?
Yeah.
If you've got that relationship.
Someone returned something that they didn't quite like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if it's on the floor and it's been on display.
Yep.
Often showrooms like to clear those sort of products. So if you found something, similar to where you started and what the client liked, great. If we can get that half price, go for it.
Okay, and so we did in this situation.
We did.
We got it off Marketplace in the end and saved a lot of dollars.
Which was a bonus.
With the appliances, we also swapped them out and because they're going to be integrated, we didn't have to worry so much. So we switched to a scratch and dint fridge. So it had a few little dints in it, but we saved, a few $1,000, didn't we? And also end-of-line products or discontinued products, and we ended up saving $2,500.
Fantastic. So as a result, the total of our budget came in at $66,255.
Woohoo.
Fantastic. So the clients were absolutely wrapped with this and thrilled. It just meant that we could move forward with the job quicker.
Yeah.
But
we took the time.
We took the time.
With the scope of work, and it's clear that if you've got the time and you need to switch out materials, that's the best way to do it, to bring your budget down.
Without a doubt. Okay, I've got a myth for you.
Oh.
Or is it a myth?
I think it's a bit different this time.
I think it might be.
I don't think we need a myth on this one.
No, I
because
think you're right.
We believe in this fact, Caroline.
Yes.
Why move when you can improve?
Good one, Chrissy.
Boom, boom.
I love that one.
Okay, thank you. We hope you liked the kitchen renovation podcast as much as our bathroom renovation podcast. You know how to find us if you want to ask any questions. Thanks for listening today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you'd like to get in touch, email us on thedesignduet@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram page, The Design Duet.